Someone here asks, what do I do if I struggle with the manipulation stage? They want to climb the mountain, Beth. What should they do?
If they struggle with the manipulation stage, so a couple of things. One, there's a tremendous amount of free learning that's available. One of the things that I've done in the interest of helping others help themselves is to pull together some resources from LinkedIn Learning, from edX. All of them are free. The other thing that I've done is I've sat down with lots of department chairs, associate deans, hands-on, one-on-one, to show them that this is how we do it. And this, and by the way, everybody thinks they don't need to know. So don't worry about that. That just take that as a given, okay? And so gently go in and say, let's just look at this together. That's what I recommend.
All right, we've got another one here. This one's also going a little bit in a different direction. It says, I'm often sharing data in spaces in which individuals are at different levels on the data continuum. Do you share data to the lowest level on the continuum at the risk of boring more advanced users? Sounds kind of similar to teaching to the middle for the class. What do you say, Beth?
Absolutely, absolutely. Every teacher will tell you differentiated instruction has been, just the age-old challenge in a single classroom, right? How do you do that? So we absolutely, when we design our dashboards, for example, when we design our reports, we absolutely shoot for the minimal level of knowledge walking in. We provide glossaries. We provide a lot of additional pieces because, again, people think they don't need information or help or assistance, and until they get it and then realize, geez, I really didn't understand that, so so there's a lot of people who benefit by reading the basic information first.
Okay, so I want to just interject here for those of you who are left on Zoom with us. If you can just stick around after this last question, we have two just questions for you very, very quick to help give us some feedback on the event today. But I'm going to go into the last question here. It's a little bit long, so if you could bear with me. It says here, can you talk about the role of context in data literacy? If we're talking about literacy in language, someone who is literate can probably read a newspaper or a novel or general stuff. But if you put a jargon-filled technical document in front of them, say something like an article from an academic journal, they might not be able to make sense of it. So how does that translate to data literacy? How does context or domain knowledge fit into or onto the continuum?
I love that you're asking about context because in my data foundations course, I spend, in fact, the beginning three elements that we looked at are elements in the signs and symbols and context conversation that I have in my data foundations course. Context is so critical about understanding. And as a data leader, I probably can't, first of all, let me say, in the time that we have left, I don't feel I can give your full answer justice. But I will say that I do acknowledge what you're saying, that context is a critical element across the board. And we have to understand that context comes from signs, it comes from symbols, it comes from an awareness. And so part of our ability, part of our job as a data leader is to set that context. That's one of the really critical pieces in level setting everybody at the same place and moving forward. That document full of jargon most definitely has to go. and much to our chagrin, because it's always a lot of work to translate the jargon into common language, I think. So I'd love to talk more about that with whomever brought that up. And yeah, context is a big deal.